He's a SiriusXM NBA radio host, Pelicans TV analyst, Fox Sports Radio NBA analyst, NBA champion, our man Antonio Daniels. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas?
We are good. We are good. Look, let's get right to it. Before we get to the Pelicans, though, let's go around the league a bit. Dallas.
Mess.
They go from being the 4th seed to the 11th seed. Looks like they're going to miss the play-in. What do you think is the problem there?
I don't know. I can tell you the thing that we've discussed is just because you get two really skilled players together, two elite players together, doesn't mean that it's going to work. Right? I am always been a fan of fit, of skill set, not the popularity of last names. Example, like Russell Westbrook. Huge Russell Westbrook fan, but I knew going to the Lakers that wasn't going to work because his skill set doesn't complement what Anthony Davis and what LeBron James need. I felt like I can't be mad at Mark Cuban for what he did, though, because what he was trying to do is make up for the mistake that they made by allowing Jalen Brunson to go. Right? So I get that. So he's trying to do right by Luka. Right? Okay, I'm gonna try and bring every star that I possibly can in here to make up for Jalen Brunson. But there was a trickle-down effect to allowing Jalen Brunson to leave.
Right.
Because not getting Jalen Brunson meant that you had to get someone to play next to Luka. Now you get somebody next to Luka. That means Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie, those guys are gone. Guys that were willing to play their role. In today's NBA, you can't win without guys like Dorian Finney-Smith. You can't. Plain and simple. And they're missing his presence. He's one of those guys that you don't really realize what he meant to your team until he's gone. And the fact of the matter is, Kyrie Irving said it best earlier. Like, I understand I was brought in here in February, but I didn't come in here with the intention of winning the championship right off the jump. So it's going to take time. But the thing that's interesting is he can enter free agency this summer, which Mark Cuban knew that when he chose to acquire him.
So what do you do? I mean, there's no way Kyrie's going to stay there, is he?
It depends on if they give him the deal that he wants. Money, we all know that, man. Money talks.
But can you give him that deal? I mean, it just the way it came across, the way what happened, it just feels like it would be hard to make that deal. No?
Would it be hard? Because if you look at their numbers, right? I know this is a thing where it's all about winning. Right. I get that. Winning is the priority.
Right. Their numbers are great. We get it offensively. They're great and individually, but they don't play defense and they're not winning. You went from the Western Conference, what were they in the conference finals a year ago to not making. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That picture doesn't feel good.
Okay, so is there a clear-cut answer right off the jump? Let's hypothetically say you're Mark Cuban and you allow Kyrie Irving to leave, right? So now over the past year and a half or a year or so, you allow Kyrie Irving to leave, you allow Jalen Brunson to leave, you traded Dorian Finney-Smith, you traded Spencer Dinwiddie, and picks.
Right.
And Christian Wood is a free agent as well. So this Dallas Mavericks team could look completely different a year from now, but honestly, it may be needed.
Let's get to the Pelicans, and obviously they're playing well. They're now the 8th seed. Still have a chance to get to that 6th spot or higher. We know that Zion, April 5th, right, supposed to be reevaluated. If he gets the clean bill of health, doctors say he's good. He can play. Would you play him?
Yes.
Or would you wait till okay?
No question about it. No question about it.
And how do you
ASAP.
How do you think he would fit back in seamlessly and that they would be a real threat, to be deep, go deep in the West or what?
Well, I think a lot of that depends on health. And I'll say the same thing about Zion that I said about LeBron. Anytime you have a star that comes back, a star that is used to having the ball in his hands, it's a little different. It's not like you're asking a role player to seamlessly fit back in. It's not like you're asking Herb Jones to seamlessly fit back in. You're asking a guy who is accustomed to that offense being centered around him. But another thing that we know if guys are sidelined for a significant amount of time, it's not like they're going to put Zion out there for 30, 35 minutes. There's always a ramp-up period, which he's going through right now. But even getting back out there, the majority of the time, guys return with a minutes restriction. So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that feels like. Because, again, these guys, meaning B.I. and Zion, have only played together 12 times in the past 2 years.
12,
So, yes,
really?
12
times?
Is that it?
In the past 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yep.
Because
And
B.I.
honestly,
has really emerged lately.
Right, but he's
No
been hurt a
question.
lot too.
Right, and that's why. Because remember, last year, basically what I'm telling you guys is they've only played together 12 times this season because Zion didn't play last year, right? Because he was sidelined. Right. So, but with all that being said, if you get an opportunity to get Zion back, get him 2 or 3 games in the regular season, in the regular season, and maybe, who knows, play in or play off, you take that. Because I will tell you guys this, and you guys will agree with it. This team, whole and healthy, can match up with any team in the Western Conference.
Where are you on the Phoenix Suns and moving forward? Do you feel good about them or?
I do.
Okay.
I do because it's Kevin Durant.
Right.
I feel good about it because it's Kevin Durant. And I remember us having this conversation. If it's somebody else, I'm not offering them this same grace. But because it's Kevin Durant, and I can't think of any situation that Kevin Durant has ever been in where it didn't fit. He didn't fit because of his skill set. He has the ability to shoot off the catch, off the pass, to handle it, to post, whatever you need him to do. You can take him from Phoenix's offense and put him in any of the 29 other offenses, and it will be a seamless fit. So the only reason that I'm offering Phoenix this grace is because of Kevin Durant, 1, and 2, they had an opportunity to acquire Kevin Durant while keeping Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton.
Now, Andrew Wiggins reportedly going to be back for the playoffs, if not a little bit sooner for a game or 2 in the regular season. How do you think Golden State should will be going into the playoffs now that they're whole, as far as their roster? Like, how much will he help?
I'll say this first and foremost: if Andrew Wiggins doesn't get vaccinated last year, they don't win the championship.
Yeah, he was a big part of that.
Right.
He was a huge part.
Yep.
If
he might be their second best player now.
He was it. That was just great saying it. He was the second best player and their best perimeter defender. So if he takes the Kyrie Irving route last year, we're not having the same conversation about the Golden State Warriors repeat because they don't get there, right? But with all that being said, I don't know what Andrew Wiggins has gone through over the past 6 weeks. I have no idea. So when we say whole and healthy, are we speaking physically? Are we speaking mentally?
Right.
Are we speaking emotionally? Like these things take time because when guys are dealing with things away from the court, that impacts the way you play and the way you see the game in between the 4 lines. So I don't. Andrew Wiggins obviously gives them something that they've been missing over the past month or 6 weeks or so. I just don't know the version of Andrew Wiggins that they'll be getting back initially.
Our guest is Antonio Daniels, of course, Sirius XM NBA Radio, Pelicans TV analyst, Fox Sports Radio NBA analyst. Join us here on The Odd Couple.
I think Antonio, look, he was away 2 months. Like you said, we don't know what he's gone through. The reports was that his dad was, seriously ill. But I also think part of this was Golden State. Obviously, they were very accommodating to him. And I think part of that was like, look, go get right. You know what I mean? And hopefully when you come back, you're cleared. I mean, obviously, if his dad is still ill, you deal with that. People deal with things like that. But I think maybe they were thinking, rather than keep you here, maybe you go a week or 2 and you come back, rather than you be here and not be right mentally, we'll let you go and take as much time as you need so that when you do come back, you know what I mean? You're really ready and maybe we can make a run. That's kind of my thinking.
And I get the thought process. And for me, playing with Steve Kerr, being a teammate of Steve Kerr, that doesn't surprise me because I feel like life should always supersede basketball.
Right.
It should always. And that's not always the case when you're talking about professional sports. But when someone is dealing with something in their life, with their family, or their mental health, or the thing is, we all know, man, that basketball ain't going to bounce forever. That basketball is going to stop bouncing at some particular point. So, yeah, it's okay to make it a priority, but then you also have to understand that ball's going to stop bouncing And once that ball stops bouncing, the things that you are sacrificing for it will still be there.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that's not priority. It's not. And we would love to think of, like, I know this is the thing about professional athletes when you walk away. The things that you miss. The things that you choose basketball over. Your kid's game. Graduations or whatever it may be.
Right.
And if you had an opportunity to go back and do it over again, hindsight 2020, there is so much that you would change and do differently. I hope Andrew Wiggins and his family are dealing with this the right way, and I hope he's okay.